Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel where I talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers. In tonight's video, folks, if the season ended today, the Pittsburgh Steelers would win the AFC North. They would also host a playoff game. They would also be number 3 in the AFC Conference. But as we know, it's Friday, October 4th. Happy Friday, everybody. The season doesn't end today. But the point still stands with Justin Fields and the defense and Arthur Smith and everybody involved within the Pittsburgh Steelers organization. 3-1 start, all things considered. This team is uphill trending. And especially now with the 25-year-old Justin Fields as the spot starter for Russell Wilson for the last 4 weeks of the season. And yeah, I agree, Justin Fields probably will play the entire rest of the season. I don't even think at this point in time Russell Wilson plays a snap for Pittsburgh unless, unfortunately, Justin gets injured, which I don't even want to talk about. Feels like the future is here, and it feels like the current is here. And I just, with Kenny Pickett the last couple of years, I just don't think this is something the Steelers have experienced for a couple of seasons now. So I'm very excited. But folks, before we get any further into tonight's video, if you guys enjoy it, hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. If we could try and get this video to 100 likes, folks, that would mean the absolute world to me. And as always, shout out to BetUS for sponsoring this video. More on that in just a couple of minutes. The Pittsburgh Steelers defense currently ranks first in third down conversion rate and defensive points per game allowed. Or actually, I guess now that metric is now second at 13.3, but they're still fourth in total defense, giving up only 261 yards per game. They're third in rushing defense, giving up less than 87 rushing yards per game. And they're eighth in passing defense at 175 yards per game. This defense, you could be deploying, folks, it doesn't matter. You could deploy Justin Fields, you could deploy Russell Wilson, you could deploy Mitch Trubisky, you could deploy Kenny Pickett or Mason Rudolph. With the defense playing the way it is right now, and you've seen it, you saw it last season, the Pittsburgh Steelers can win this division, they can make the playoffs, they can win a playoff game. This is really exciting to me personally because Justin Fields is on pace for career bests in pretty much every single statistical category. Passer rating, he's at 98. Completion percentage, he's almost at 71%. And interception rate at 0.9%. The run game's got to improve. The offensive line's going to get healthy. But folks, Justin Fields is 25. This could actually be the future quarterback, the franchise quarterback for Pittsburgh. Justin Fields, completion percent from this season compared to the last 2 years, whether it's overall, folks, Justin Fields' completion percentage overall, right now, it's 7th in the NFL. Last year, 29th. This year on 15-plus air yard passes, 6th in the NFL. Last year, 24th. Versus the blitz, last year, Justin Fields ranked 30th in the NFL in completion percentage amongst the blitz. This year, he's 7th. Outside of the numbers, last year, 31st. This year, 5th. It's working well. And you got a home matchup against the Dallas Cowgirls this upcoming Sunday night. Dallas, folks, defensive statistics. Here you go. Points per game allowed, 29. That's 29th in the NFL. Yards per game allowed, 397. That's dead last, not even close. Yards per play allowed, 6.6. Dead last. Sacks, they're only sacking dudes twice a game. That's tied for dead last in the NFL. So Pittsburgh, even though Dallas... All right, guys, before we get back into this video here, once again, shout out to BetUS for sponsoring this video. I just want to show you, we'll start from scratch even. Dallas is going to lose to Pittsburgh on Sunday night. The Bengals are going to take down Baltimore, in my opinion. And Pittsburgh's already 3-1. So I want to show you step by step, for probably the last time, how to bet on the Steelers winning this division here. We're going to scroll down from football. We're going to go to NFL divisions. We're going to go down here to the AFC North. See Pittsburgh here sitting pretty at plus 250. Once again, this is the AFC North leader sitting here at 3-1 with upset on the way Sunday Night Football. But folks, doesn't end just there. 150% bonus on your first deposit. BetUS is also doing a 125% bonus on your next 2, all with the code YouTube150. Thanks, BetUS. Let's get back. A couple of months ago seemed like this crazy heavy hitter opponent, offense and defense. It's not the case on both sides of the football field. One thing I do want to mention is this running game needs to improve. Whether it's game calling, whether it's Jaylen Warren and Cordell Patterson getting healthy, whatever it is, it has to improve. And honestly, history kind of backs up that statistic. But before we get into it, I just want to say a couple of things. Najee Harris is in a contract season. You're going up against Dallas, who, like, honestly, on a lot of defensive metrics is the worst in the NFL. Once again, if we throw this clock back a couple of weeks ago or even like a month or two ago, this game circled on the Steelers' calendar at home as a, could go either way game. A win here would be big. It's not shaped up like that in the first month of the season. But as we know, the Dallas Cowboys, they still got Dakota Prescott. They still got CeeDee Lamb, no Micah, but it's still going to be a hard-fought primetime football game. But you have to run the football. And I was reading a great article on The Athletic from Mike DeFabo, who was pretty much just throwing statistics out there, basing it off of history with the Pittsburgh Steelers running back room for the last couple of seasons. I just feel like it kind of brings everything back together here. So through 4 games, the Pittsburgh Steelers are tied for the most rushing attempts in the NFL with 138, right next to the Saints and the Baltimore Ravens. They're actually also top 10 in rushing yardage at 514 total rushing yards through 4 weeks of the season. But when you get in the meat and potatoes of it, and if you use your eyes watching these football games, that doesn't really feel how it is. The Steelers currently rank 25th in yards per carry at 3.7. Their EPA on rushing plays is minus 30.73, which is the second worst in the NFL. I can't even believe that's not worst in the NFL. Their yards before contact at 1.06 ranks 6th to dead last in the NFL. And their overall rushing success rate is 28th in the NFL. Now, Isaac Seumalo is coming back, I think, for his season debut here in Week 5. But Najee Harris is just not getting the job done, right? Through 4 weeks, 68 carries for only 228 yards. That's actually 18th in the NFL, but once again, the meat and potatoes are relatively concerning. He's averaging only 3.4 yards per carry, which is 42nd among all qualifying rushers. That number dips down to 2.6 yards per carry on first down, which is even worse, at 50th in the NFL. And if we base it off the Colts game, it was even worse. 13 carries, 19 yards, averaging 1.5 yards per rush. According to NFL's Next Gen Stats, his minus 30 yards over expected was the worst in the NFL amongst running backs in Week 4. Now, it's not all bad as I'm making it seem, because last year at this point, once again, shout out to Mike DeFabo for digging into these analytics. Last year, Pittsburgh was 28th in rushing yards per game at only 80. They were 29th in yards per carry. And actually, this was the first 2 months of the season. This was your first 8 games of the year. You were literally one of the worst running back rooms in the NFL. No Cordell Patterson, obviously, but Jaylen Warren and Najee Harris. You shouldn't be in any bottom categories rushing in the NFL. But the numbers get better from Week 9 and on. They shot up to 5th, 145.2 rushing yards per game. 8th, 4.5 yards per carry. Through the first 8 weeks of 2022, Pittsburgh was 25th in rushing yards per game. They were 26th in yards per carry. From Week 9 on, the Steelers improved to 8th in rushing yards per game and slightly boosted their yards per carry to 4.2. So the point is, the last 2 years, the writing's on the wall. Pittsburgh suffers in the first half of the season running the ball, and in the second half, they improve. And it most likely has to do, weather's getting colder. Helps Najee Harris especially. Defensive units start getting a little bit more banged up. The offensive line has more time to gel, more chemistry, more timing. You get the point here. So I want to see, and I said this in the same video 1 week ago, I said I need to see better rushing statistics with the eyes and analytically this upcoming Sunday. So hopefully Sunday night against Dallas, we finally see Najee Harris just have a career type of night. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. Once again, shout out to BetUS for sponsoring this video. But guys, give me a score prediction for Sunday's game against the Dallas Cowgirls down below. Peace.